Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos ao Undergroundsvoice mais uma vez. Hoje tenho a oportunidade de conhecer um dos meus maiores ídolos, Phil Demmel. Thank you so much for being here, man. It's a huge honor to meet you. Thank you so much for being here, really.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. Right on.
It's an honor, man. Um, you know, you're one. You're probably my favorite guitar player ever.
Okay, good. Right
So
on. Well, that's awfully sweet. Thank you, man.
for me, it's really a huge honor to have you there on my little webzine. So nice to
Yeah.
meet you again. I'm from Portugal, and you're 15% Portuguese too. Your mom is Portuguese, right?
Yeah, my family, I think my great grandmother was there from the Azores, from the islands.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I've never been out there. My mom went. We played her first time in Portugal was in 2009 when we played with Metallica at the Sonosphere there. So we brought her out on stage, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
She was on stage. I was there on that show.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Was my second show. First one was in Rock in Rio the year before.
Oh man, that was amazing. We played "Hallowed Be Thy Name" for the first time. Then
Yeah. It was
we got to. We showed up. I actually I cracked my leg jumping off a drum riser, a 1 foot drum riser. I fell and I broke my leg earlier on that little run, and we were going to play "Hallowed Be Thy Name" for the first time. And so we were talking to the Metallica dudes, and they're like, "Hey, if you need to practice, you could just use our jam room." So we went into the jam room, and they were outside listening. And of course, we played Master Puppets and Battery, and all this. And they're knocking on. That's the first time we've heard that played. Right on drums, and so they were giving large shit. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was amazing, great show. I Last time you were here in Portugal with Machine Head was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. What can you remember about these nights? All the previous shows before that, and the Portuguese crowd too.
Portugal is one of my favorite places to play. The band, the crowd there love the band. They're so energetic, so crazy, man. They just loved, going off. And so I always enjoyed my shows there and the people there, and showed me a lot of love. And so I always look forward to coming to Portugal.
Well, we hope can you come back soon, man? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's possible with the other band right now.
Yeah. I think Vio-lence has something in store for 2021. I don't know if we're coming to Portugal or not, but I've got a lot of plans to do a lot of things. So,
yeah,
I'll be back in Portugal at some point.
I hope so.
Yeah,
as you can see, I am with this T-shirt. You gave me on the final your last show in Portugal with Machine Head.
Okay.
That was the MVR.
Yes.
Not for me, of course. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if the idea of the MVR was yours.
That was my idea. Yeah. Yeah. I started doing the MVR on my personal Instagram. Yeah. And I would pick somebody out in front of me that was really feeling it, and I called them my most valuable rager. So the MVR, most valuable rager, that's my term I came up with. So I started posting them on the Instagram, and people started digging it, and we had the design was an old design that we hadn't used for a shirt. So Rob had the idea of passing out a shirt as a trophy to somebody, and put it on the Machine Head Instagram and stuff like that. So the idea for the MVR was mine. The shirt idea was Rob's, and it became something that they're still using now, which I think is kind of an honor that they're still using my idea for the MVR. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like an award for the diehard fans, right?
Yes.
I feel like a diehard fan.
And hold on a second. I think I got. Hold on a second. So I've continued that with the most violent rager. So the Vio-lence fans, I'm continuing my tradition of the most valuable rager with all the Vio-lence fans.
I would love to have one of them. Maybe
Yeah,
Vio-lence show, man. Who knows?
yeah. I think that there's a kid in Phoenix who's won both. This guitar chug, so some kid that he's won it for Machine Head and he's won it for Violence. So he's the only two-time winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, it's as I was saying, it's like an award for the diehard fans, right? I'm one diehard fan of Machine Head. It's like, um, you know, I'm waiting 7 or 8 hours to enter the venue, to be on the front line, singing all the songs. It's
Yeah.
like an award for these people, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's, for you to win in Portugal is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal because everybody's going nuts. So if you win in Scotland or, in London or Portugal, then you are really outdone. You're one of the top. We need to have like a tournament of champions, have all the MVRs come together and, battle it out.
Amazing. Well, you've been in Machine Head nearly 15 years, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
in my honest opinion, it was the best era for the band.
All right.
You kind of saved the band when you joined them, because they were on the worst time probably. And then with Through the Ashes of Empires, the Blackening, the band was on top.
Yeah.
Do you still feel identified with all these songs? These albums will still be an inspiration for you to, I don't know, to release new songs in the future.
Yeah, I'm proud of a lot of what I did in the band and the time that I spent. And it was a very special time for me. I got to do some cool things, and yeah, I'll be attached to a lot of the songs for a long time. I helped, create, one what's being heralded as one of the best metal records ever, and I had a lot to do with a lot of that record. So that record, The Blackening, doesn't happen without my contributions. Um, so there's a lot of lyrics that I wrote on that record too, and so yeah, I'm proud of my time in that band and what we accomplished. I'll always be, I still have my Machine Head tattoo. I'm not covering it up. There's still I'll always be proud of helping that band last as long as it did, because I definitely contributed to all of the success that they're, not all of it, but a lot of the success that they're still enjoying now. So that's something that, that's my hard work too. It wasn't just one guy doing that. There was, 4 people and, a management and booking agents, and it was a whole camp working hard for the success of that band. And I'm proud to be part of that.
The Blackening is definitely one of the best albums I ever heard. It's really,
All right.
it's amazing. And you already said a couple of times, a lot of times in other interviews, that you were not comfortable anymore in Machine Head in last month. You are kind of still doubting about your capacities as a guitar player too. And then I think in the 2 days after the last show with Machine Head, you were playing with Slayer, man. It's
Yeah, it was, it came to an end. I felt that we handled it the best that we could, terminated the relationship and moved on. And it was a long relationship. It was a long breakup. and and everybody's fine on the other end. It worked out great for everybody. We've had some great experiences, and yeah, getting the call the next day to come and join Slayer was amazing. And I've done so much since I've quit that band. I'm just really grateful to be able to collaborate with a lot of these musicians that I have been and have an opportunity to make music for a living. I before all this COVID went down, but yeah, it's worked out the best for all parties involved.
yeah. Would your life and career would be really different from what is now if Kerry King did text you or contact you?
Uh, man, I don't know. I'm sure it'd be different because playing in Slayer definitely puts a big ribbon on your resume, especially in the fashion that I did it, learning those songs and the amount of time that I did, and the amazing circumstances that it all happened. Um, I would have, I think I would have dug down and gotten past whatever doubts that I was having about myself. But getting the pat on the back from the Slayer camp and the Anthrax camp and the Lamb of God camp, and that definitely helps.
Yeah. Like we said before,
And the obituary guys, I can't, didn't mean to interrupt you, but I think that the biggest welcome that I got out there was from the obituary camp. And met the guys a couple of times, but they were just so fucking awesome and just so congratulatory, and it was a really good vibe with everybody, and them especially.
yeah, I never met guys from Obituary. They seems to be really nice. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, awesome dudes. They're great.
Like we said before, you are kind of doubting about all your capacities, but playing with Slayers is probably the biggest proof that you can have about your capacities, right?
Pulling that off was definitely a shot in the arm for sure.
Right.
And as I had known some of the songs, but a lot of them that I hadn't heard before, and of course you're one of your favorite band comes along and tells you, hey, you need to do, then you're going to do it. If you're, somebody, given the same thing would have made it happen. It was a unique position for me. So it was definitely nice hearing from all the dudes that I did well.
Yeah, it was amazing. Unfortunately, we didn't have any show in Portugal, but
Right.
yeah, it would be awesome. I don't know. You grew up listening to this all these legendary bands like Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Creator, and a lot of more bands. You kind of saw them grow up too. How do you feel about Slayer's farewell?
Oh, it was wanted. People wanted to see it. They wanted to, I think that they did a good job with the set list. The show was amazing. The lights and the pyro was just insane. I saw the Oakland show. I saw 3 shows in Germany with Gary.
Yeah,
Um, no, I didn't see them in New York. But I did see him in Oakland a couple nights before the very last show. Then I went down to LA and saw the very last show. So it's really cool to see the fans reacting to seeing that band for the last time, and it's I get it why they're not continuing. um it was a hell of a ride. They wrote some amazing songs, had some amazing shows, and but you could tell it was time. So I mean, being able to watch them with Gary Holt is pretty fucking awesome. He's the man. He's right there at the beginning of thrash, so it's to have him be a part of that, and it's pretty fucking cool.
and you literally learn all the songs in 2 days. It's almost impossible. How can you do it?
Yeah, it was. I had him. I learned him in 2 days. I actually didn't play until like maybe 5 days later, but I had him down because I thought I would be playing, and Gary ended up staying for a couple of more days. um I Man, so we played the last Machine Head shows on a Saturday, and so we drive home. It's about an hour drive home, and wake up the next day. My wife had partied, at the show, so she was hungover, and so I woke up and got the text from Carrie, like it hadn't even been. I wasn't even unemployed 12 hours, So, uh, so I went Monday to pick up all my Machine Head gear, and then on Tuesday I was on a flight, so I hadn't had a chance to sit down with the songs until Tuesday on the flight. So I had all the set list and my ear, listening to them on the phone and just writing them all the structures out. And, I spent the whole flight over there just going over the tunes. My guitarist didn't show up when I got there. I borrowed a guitar that was in drop B, and all these are in standard tuning basically. So I had to transpose everything. So everything was working against me. That man really made me work for it. But getting to the arena and being able to practice and going through stuff, it was like, I wanted to go through them on my own. I asked, there was a couple parts that I asked Gary or Carrie about, but for the most part, I did it on my own. So while they're playing, they're doing the shows, and I'm backstage playing along with it. Scotty Ian came over. He's like, God, it'd be cool to sit down and learn how to actually play some of these songs. So it's because they're not easy, man. They're not fucking easy. Slayer has their own language, their own geometry to their, and once you understand that a little bit, then you can kind of figure out how things go.
It's almost impossible to be bigger than Slayer. It's
well, they're the reason why I played heavy music, man. They were the reason back in the day that in high school I could have gone the more glam rock, Dokken, Rat way, or then after I saw Slayer and I was into some of the thrash stuff and Metallica and Exodus, but it was watching Slayer. They're the reason that I said, this is what I want to do. And I joined Vio-lence in my senior year of high school. So they're the reason. And to be able to come back and play with them it's storybook, man. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I can even imagine now always to meet these guys and play with them. And as you said, they were and they still are a big influence for you. So probably it's kind of mixed feelings about that. About we'll never see Slayer live again, but gladly you've been part of it. You're in the history of.
And I think that as a fan, and of course the first 4 records were my favorite, and Jeff is gone, and Dave and Carrie probably aren't going to get together anytime soon. So it's I'm okay with them calling it a day. I loved seeing Paul and Gary with them, but it was the Dave and Jeff and Carrie and Tom. That's the Slayer, that I've seen them. I've been seeing them since 1983. So it's good to hear the songs, and it's awesome to hear Paul and Gary play the parts. But I think I'd be okay if I didn't see that incarnation of the band again. I've especially seen it as much as I did in the past couple of years. So it's yeah. I'm okay with the memories, same with, Eddie just died and Van Halen, it's as the bands get older, it's just like, of course you want to see Ed play and you want to do that, but it's not like I needed to see David Lee Roth and, how they are now. I saw David Lee Roth open for Kiss and he was great, he was awesome, but it's not the 1979, insane Van Halen trip again. We all have our memories, and we're lucky to have those.
And the Vio-lence is back, man.
Yeah,
Such a legendary band too. What happened to turn possible that big comeback?
It was Sean. It was Sean's idea. It was in January. I had been home from the Slayer thing for about a month, and we got through Christmas, and Sean had texted me if I wanted to do some shows. And I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, fuck you. Do you want to go to the movies, or what do you mean show? Like violent shows, And he said, yeah. And the last I had seen him, he wasn't doing so well. He was pretty sick. And it had been maybe 9 months since his surgery at that point. He had been getting better and getting healthier and working out. And so he felt up for it. So we got, the guys back together and put tickets on sale for a reunion show. They sold out super quick. So we put tickets up for a second show and they sold out in minutes. And so it's like, holy shit, we got 2,000 tickets sold, in a matter of minutes. So there's something is happening here, and so it was all Sean. Sean kicked us in the butt to get it done and whooped us into shape. We, I probably whooped everybody into shape, but they haven't been playing in a bit. So it was a matter of dudes playing their instruments again. And so we spent a good year last year playing all over the world, and got to Europe for the first time. We played the Alcatraz festival. So that was cool for these guys to play a festival and get to experience that. And we had all kinds of plans for this year, man. And, they all got wiped away. So we'll be back all over the world next year.
We hope we can have a date here in Portugal.
Yeah, we need to do that. We definitely need to do that.
Can you expect more than shows in the future for Vio-lence? You just released a cover some weeks ago too.
What's that?
You just released a cover song some weeks ago.
Yeah. We did. This is a song that Sean wanted to do at the show that we were going to play in April and August, and now it's been rescheduled again for April. But it was a Dead Kennedys cover called California Uber Alles. And so we had rehearsed it and we knew it. And I just thought, man, let's just get something out there, with this current lineup. We have Bobby Gustafson from Overkill playing guitar with us. We got Christian Oldie Warbers from Fear Factory and Power Flow playing with us. So it's like, let's show everybody this group together doing this silly cover tune that we recorded in our rehearsal spot, and it came out super fun. It's just a good time, and everybody was all sheltered in place. I think that took place, and we did that the 4th of July weekend. So it was, everybody was on super lockdown, and it was good for us to get together and put that out. So we are recording a 5-song EP for Metal Blade Records, and we just finished song number 4 last night, and pretty excited about it. It's really it's fast. The songs are hard to play. Sean sounds great, man. His vocals sound so great. Perry's playing crazy like animal back there, and the riffs are hard. I'm pushing myself with the riffs, so I don't want you to just be able to pick up a guitar and just play the riff. I want it to be pretty tough. So, and it's hard on me. I'm pushing myself. So 4 songs are ready. We'll probably start recording in a couple months maybe, and get it out next year.
Looking forward. I'm sure that it's amazing to see that nobody forgot about the band in all these years, right?
I think that we're more popular now, with the advent of the internet. If this was around back when we first came out, there might not have been a Machine Head. We might have still be, rolling with Vio-lence. Yeah, it seems like we're way more popular now. People, outside of the Bay Area really didn't care that much about Vio-lence back in the day. So it's cool to see everybody kind of catching on and enjoying it.
Yeah. And what about Torque? Can we expect something too or not?
No, that's done. There's no, it was fun. It was fun doing a record with me singing on it. Songs were fun. I'm not in that mode anymore. That's, no, nothing on the Torque front.
Yeah. You also did some jams, collaborations, playing some covers with Dave McClain, with Martha, your wife, and some other great guests. Will we see more of that in the future?
I did 8 of those, and I guested on a few more. So I did about a dozen, and they were all really good, and I loved them all. After the last one I did, the Randy Rhoads Revelation Mother Earth cover, with Rudy Sarzo played on it, I felt like I could be done. And then I have another idea for one right now. It's not a metal song. It's from an artist that I've always liked. I'm not going to say what it is, but that's in the works now. So I have one more that I'm probably going to do within the next month or so. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited about it.
I'll be waiting for that.
Yeah.
I met Bobby Blitz last year when he gave a great show here in Oporto. And in our interview, he told me about the project that he had with you, Mike Portnoy, and Mark Mengi. I was really excited about that. Well, you released an album, American Made. How's been the feedback? How do you feel about this great project too?
I love it, man. It was fun to make. It was fun getting together to do. It was fun recording, and this, you were talking about things that gave me oh, what's the word? Uh Faith in myself and in my playing. This was the project that these guys came to me and said, we want you to be the guitar player on this project. There's no two guitar, it's only one, playing Eddie Van Halen solos, Ted Nugent solos, Joe Perry solos, playing Billy Gibbons and playing all these amazing Leslie West and all these amazing guitar players solos. And we want you to do it, and it's the first time I tracked rhythms in like 12 years or so. So to go in there, it really gave me confidence in my playing. And I did all the recording on a fixed bridge, which, I'm usually on a Floyd Rose, but it was 90% of it was on a fixed bridge. So it really opened up my left hand to some vibrato and a lot of blues playing. And it's some of my best playing that I think that I've ever recorded is on this record, because it's so different than, the Machine Head and the Violence stuff. It's fucking blues, and it was kind of a challenge, but it was more fun. And I think that, recording with Juan Orteaga, who recorded, he did the Locust record for us. And I think a lot of Bloodstone too. So he was familiar with the situation with me and Machine Head, and seeing me play like this, he was really excited for me. And super proud of this record. The songs are fun. It's a great party record. It's loose, and it was so much fun to be a part of. I'm super stoked with it.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing some guitar clinics before all this pandemic chaos. Can you tell us more about the concept of these clinics?
Yeah, I did. Jackson put me out on a clinic tour through, where did I go? I went through Germany. Did we do Paris? I don't think we did Paris, but we did Holland and through the UK. And it was fun. I get up and I play through some tunes, and I tell my story and tell some stories. And what I did was I wrote a song for Machine Head that didn't make it on the record. Me and Dave went back and recorded it, and I got Brandon from Bleeding Through and Dave Ellison from Megadeth to play on it, called the Permanent Decay. And so I played that, and I did a medley of a bunch of riffs that I had written for Machine Head. I put them all to this 12-minute song, so it's all one song that blends together, and they're all my riffs. I wrote every single part that I'm playing in this. And I play Killers and Kings, which was a song that I pretty much wrote all the music to. So it's an opportunity to, kind of jam a little bit, talk to people about, tell my story with music, tell my story with Jackson. And it was successful, man. Sold out most of the shows. And it's pretty intense to go from not being in a band to just doing a tour on your own. It's really given me, like I said, a lot of confidence and belief in myself. So been writing a lot of music, got a lot of plans for when we can open up again. I'm excited about the Violence stuff. I did a Hail tour, a couple shows in the Middle East with Chris Adler and James Lomenzo and Steve Souza. We played in Bahrain. We played in Dubai. And it was awesome. It's a lot of fun getting together with it. I love playing covers. Especially with, I have a band at home of my high school buddies, that I used to play with back in 1983. And then we got back together for a reunion. And now we just get together every once in a while. We'll call them Merkins. We play Bon Jovi and, Journey and AC/DC and, all the songs that you sing at the jukebox, so it's a lot of fun doing that. And, just playing music with people that I enjoy being around. That's what I like doing now.
Yeah. And the Permanent Decay is a really great song, and that's the proof that your ideas are really different from were Machine Head or Rob Flynn had from Qatar, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was just it didn't fit, and that's cool. And um, I wrote a lot of stuff for that band that didn't get used. I wrote a lot of stuff that got used, but there was a lot that didn't get used, and that goes to for everybody. Dave McClain wrote a bunch of stuff that didn't get used. Jared used some stuff. Rob wrote a ton of stuff that doesn't get used. You just, that's just part of it. That's just part of it. Even with Vio-lence, there's a lot of riffs that the guys are loving, and I'm all like, no, they're. I say if it doesn't give me a 10-foot boner, then it's not going on this record. So, no, you don't got a big enough boner for that. No, not big enough. No.
Well, will you see you again in Portugal? Probably with Vio-lence will be more easy to see than with the clinics, for example.
It's possible. Yeah, the clinics are something that I do, maybe not that often, but probably Vio-lence. There might be something else that I'm doing that might be making it to Portugal. There's a lot of opportunities. So, you never know. You never know.
Well,
I'm a big, I got the Vio-lence. That's my main squeeze, but I'm a single dude. I'm out there, I'm out there to have guitar, will jam.
I hope so we can record an interview in video in Portugal with Vio-lence if you come there.
That'd be great, man. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Would love it. Would love
Gotta
it.
get you another shirt.
Yeah. I hope so.
Where is it?
Well, finally, thank you so much for being here. It was a huge honor to be talking with you. It means a lot to me. I can say that today I'm not the guy who's doing some interviews. I'm just Chris meeting one of his favorite guitar players ever. So it's a great day for me.
Right on, man. Well, I'm just a dude from Dublin talking with some dude in Portugal about metal. So, hey, I appreciate, all your support, for, the band, of course, but for me personally too, and for reaching out and chatting me up and having this opportunity. So I look forward to meeting you, Chris, once we get back over there and give you an opportunity to win a Vio-lence MDR shirt.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Well, last words for the Portuguese fans and Underground's Voice viewers.
Thank everybody for the support, the continued support. I'll be back over there doing lots of stuff. Look for the Vio-lence happening, and look forward to seeing everybody out in Portugal. Thank you. Once
again, thank you so much. Machine Head and your work were always an inspiration for me. Kind of best friend of mine in those bad moments. So it's really amazing to.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really.
I appreciate that. Glad that it helps. It's all therapy for us, man. Music is that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Chris.
Again, thank you so much.
All right, see you.